Hi, this is Dave Andrus. My family and I would like to invite you to celebrate Easter with us this Sunday, April 20th at the Father's House for services at 7:30 a.m., 9 a.m., and 11 a.m. I have a question for you. Who is Jesus to you? 2,000 years ago, Jerusalem was the heart of Israel, but it wasn't a free country. The Romans oppressively occupied it. In fact, many countries across the region were occupied by the Romans. When the Roman soldiers defeated a region, they'd return home triumphantly with their general leading the way on a black stallion, followed by scores of beaten, wounded, bloodied prisoners of war who were now permanent slaves of the Roman Empire. But Jesus' triumphal entry, which is what we call Palm Sunday, was quite different. At the end of his 3-year teaching, preaching, miracles, and healing ministry, Jesus enters Jerusalem riding on a donkey. You see, in Jewish culture, the donkey was the favored mode of transportation for royalty during King David's time, and it indicated the arrival of a new king. The crowds go wild, cheering, "Hosanna, Hosanna," which means save us. Jesus was known as the Christ, which in Greek translates to the Anointed One. But many Jews saw Jesus as the Messiah. The Messiah was that long-awaited king who would liberate Israel from the Romans. And on that Palm Sunday, Jesus was presumed to be that leader who will build his army, defeat the Romans, and establish his government. On Monday, he overturns all the money-changing tables at the temple, revealing corruption of the religious leaders of the day. And then they plot his death over the next 2 days. Passover is on Thursday, and the Last Supper is shared with his 12 disciples, who also see Jesus as the Messiah, the man who will liberate Israel from Rome. However, there's also some confusion here because Jesus tells his disciples that he's going to be dying soon. Wait a minute. What do you mean, Jesus? You're going to be dying soon. You see, Jesus, that's not what we're expecting from you. Well, shortly after the Last Supper, Jesus is arrested by a mob. He's beaten and spat on. He's whipped 39 times with a whip containing bone, metal shards, and clay pottery that tears at the flesh with every lashing. And with all the blood and the open wounds, he's unrecognizable as a man. Large spikes are driven through each of his hands and feet as his body hangs on a cross just outside of Jerusalem. You see, crucifixion was reserved for the worst of criminals, and to die on a cross was not only a Roman deterrent to others, but also a means of humiliation. The cross wasn't 10 feet up in the air like in the movies. In fact, the victim's feet were slightly off the ground so that passers-by could see the victim face to face and ridicule or spit on them. It was a shameful way to die. Jesus died that Friday afternoon, day 1. The Jewish day ended at 6 p.m., so from Friday evening through Saturday evening, we get day 2. And on the third day, what we refer to as Easter Sunday, 2 women arrive at the tomb and are met by 2 angels who ask the ladies, "Why do you look for the living among the dead? He's not here. He is risen." About 23 years later, the Apostle Paul writes a letter to the believers at the church in Corinth. In 1 Corinthians 15, he says that over the next 40 days, Jesus appeared to over 500 of his followers. He then ascends to heaven as the Holy Ghost descends from heaven to earth. And the question remains, who is Jesus to you? Was he just a great historical figure, or is he the Son of God? This Sunday, you've got several decisions to make. Are you going to be chasing a little white ball on the grass? Maybe a little pickleball, visiting family, or going out to brunch? My hope is that you'll take the time to answer the question, who is Jesus to you? Feel free to join me this Easter Sunday at the Father's House for straight answers to your questions. Have a blessed day.